We are here, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. I just seen the Michael movie. I'm here to keep it tall with y'all. This was this was a dope movie. Now, the things that I'm gonna say that's wrong with the movie is from a technical standpoint. One thing everyone can agree on, no question, no matter who sees this movie, we all agree on one thing. Jafar Jackson killed it. Jafar Jackson gave us a performance of a lifetime. Big salute to Jafar Jackson. That was amazing. You honored your uncle's legacy amazingly. Amazingly. You understand? I've been a Michael Jackson fan since I was a baby, and you killed it. You killed it. So I'm gonna give y'all the 10 best parts of the Michael Jackson movie. I'm gonna give y'all the 10 worst parts, so it's balanced out. And then at the end, I'm gonna give y'all my final score for the Michael Jackson movie. All right. I'm just keeping it real. I don't want to upset nobody. Please don't come for me. I paid good money to go see these tickets in IMAX. Go see this movie in IMAX. You know, the IMAX tickets is expensive. I love Michael, been a lifelong Michael Jackson fan, but we gotta keep it real. I we gotta keep it real. I watched the Flex Washington Michael Jackson movie. That's how you know I'm a real Michael Jackson fan because that was the worst ever. But Michael, I saw it on Wednesday, early premiere because I'm a real Michael Jackson fan. I wasn't gonna see it on Friday, but I sat with what I seen with my thoughts, and this is what I got for y'all. So the 10 best parts about the Michael movie, I'm gonna start there. Jafar Jackson, fantastic job, sir. Standing ovation. Clap, 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 clap. Big salute. You killed it. You honored your uncle's legacy. Another great point. Michael had a great sense of humor. There's a scene in the movie. Spoiler alert. There's a scene in the movie where he's in the pool and he says he's trying to come up with creative ideas, and his brothers ask him, "Yo, Michael, what are you doing? What are you doing? Talking to yourself in the pool or whatever?" He's like, "I gotta let the inspiration come to me from God, or else God gonna give Prince all the good ideas." I thought that was mad funny. And there was other parts of the movie where he was mad funny. He scared his sister Latoya into thinking the snake was hungry and ready to eat her. Like it was you could just tell Mike is a funny dude. Like he got a good sense of humor. Um, uh, I personally think Michael Jackson might have been on the spectrum. I'm not in the position to professionally diagnose anybody, but there's just certain things that I noticed, and I'm like, you know what? He might have been on the spectrum. That's very possible. You know what I'm saying? He was different. And the world is not kind to people that are different. But Michael Jackson was definitely different. Um, he had this affinity for animals. He felt like a kinship to animals. He had better friendships with animals and humans. He had a lot of social anxiety, the difficulty with eye contact with people, the inability to make friends. His self perception was really skewed. It was just a lot going on. You know what I mean? For Michael, I feel like he definitely might have been on the spectrum. Um, Vitiligo was real. Vitiligo was very real. So all that skin bleaching talk, yo, the world is cruel, man. He had vitiligo. I can't believe they, ran with that. Like trying to tear a man down for a skin condition is so crazy. So the vitiligo was real. He got some very serious burns and ended up being on meds, and he didn't even want to take medication, but he had to take it for the burns, and it was like nerve damage from the Pepsi commercial when it burned him, and he was in the hospital for some time. So that clearly affected him. You know what I'm saying? And I also think like his self perception was just so it's kind of crazy. He was very obsessed with like Neverland and Peter Pan and stuff. He even like mimicked Peter Pan's nose. You know what I'm saying? Because his pops would call him Big Nose. You know what I mean? It's not funny, but it's crazy. Like what the brain will do. You know what I mean? So he had this. He was kind of lost in Neverland and kind of just saw that as like a safe space in his childhood. So he was very much Neverland where kids never grow up and he spent his whole life on the stage. So not having a regular childhood, that had to affect him. That had to affect him. You know what I'm saying? So um oh, Bill Bray, his bodyguard, man, that's his stepdaddy. That's the daddy that stepped up. Joe might not have treated him like the dad he should have had, but Bill Bray, man, big salute to that man. He really looked out for Mike, man. That was beautiful. Uh, Michael really tried to bring people together through music. I mean, this man had the Crips and the Bloods at the Beat It music video. They were showing him Crip walking. He was dancing for them. It's just like, yo, dude really had this hopeful, uh, optimistic outlook, and he thought he could bring people together through. Pardon me, bring people together through music. That it was, excuse me, it was beautiful. It was very, very beautiful. You know what I'm saying? bordering on naive, but very beautiful and optimistic. I gotta salute that, you know? Um, his generosity was limitless, man. This man donated, he had like some big check that he got. I can't remember what the check was, but he donated the whole thing to the hospital where he was at, recovering, to the other children. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude just had such a big heart. He never turned down autographs. Like he was stuck at like a grocery store for hours just signing autographs. Like just super generous, selfless dude. Like you could just see that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just really, really donating to charity and just salute the Mike, man. He had a big heart. I really loved the scene where they fought to get on MTV. You know, Mike didn't stand up to his dad, but there were certain moments in his own career where he was standing up for himself, and it took a lot of courage to do that. Him fighting to get on MTV was a huge moment, and they had the scene where he says, "I'm a proud black artist," and but he said, "But I make music for everybody." I love that moment. That was such a beautiful moment, man. God bless Mike for fighting to get on MTV, and to think that MTV was not playing black artists is crazy. It's crazy to think of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially at a time where black artists were making culture shifting music, and Mike being at the forefront of that culture shifting. Um, the whole Peter Pan and Neverland thing was definitely his safe place. And like, um, that's even why he Neverland Ranch, when he finally moved out of his parents' crib and created his own crib, and then all the having all the kids come over and play, stuff like that, like, they didn't really get into all that, but excuse me, but psychologically, they're letting you know they're letting you know psychologically why he had this whole Neverland thing. He just felt safe. He used to read Peter Pan books all the time to feel safe. He had a rough childhood. He had a rough childhood. His dad was abusive. That was his escape. Um, he had a real beautiful relationship with his mother. Really beautiful relationship with his mother. God bless Catherine Jackson. She really loved him. You know what I'm saying? And their communication and how he revered her was very clear throughout the movie. Now we get to the 10 bad things. Okay. I don't know who was in charge of editing this movie, but brother, the cutaways were killing me. We're in 1984. Now we're in 1966. Now we're in 1977. Now we're in 2072. Like, come on, bruh. And then even in the scenes, you couldn't even digest moments because it was just like cut away to his face, cut away to his face, cut away to this, cut away to that. Oh look, there's a bunch of sticky notes on a board. Oh no, look, he's kissing a llama. Oh no, look, he just adopted a chimp. Like, yo, come on, bro. The cutaways were ridiculous. The editing was just way too rushed. It's like y'all trying to give us too much in this short period of time. It's okay. We know what we signed up for. Like, let the scenes breathe. Give us moments. Like, let us sit with what we're watching, and there's all these little gaps in the timeline. We wanted to know what was going on. You can't just jump from thriller to bad to this. Like, yo, come on. Oh, and by the way, like, it's like, yeah, that's no, we need to sit. We don't know what we signed up for. If this movie got to be 4 hours long for us to get the full Michael Jackson experience, we're here for that. Don't try to rush me, man. Don't try to. I'm a Michael Jackson fan. I will sit here for 4 hours and watch what I need to watch, man. But these cutaways are ridiculous. Um, Two, I have no clue which brother was who. If you lined up all the brothers that played the Jackson brothers, I don't know who was who. At some point, they had Tito on the man's hat, and that's the first time I knew could identify who was what. Like there was no exploring of the siblings. It's so crazy. Like what? Like what? Y'all just randomly announced that Jermaine left the group. Just announced that. Oh, by the way, Jermaine left. Yeah, like what? Which one was Jermaine? Like this is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy to me. No Diana Ross. No Dirty Diana. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Huh? Like, how do you not have Diana Ross in the entire movie? Y'all know this man loved that woman. Now, what I think is, whatever point that I think the Diana Ross and Michael Jackson story is filthy, and that's why they took it out of the movie. That's what I think. I don't know, but that's my theory. That's my hunch. My hunch is they was hunching. You know what I'm saying? Neither here nor there. They should have included that. Not including Janet Jackson. Are y'all crazy? Y'all never seen a Scream video? Are y'all crazy? Michael loved his sister. And Janet, let me talk to you. Let me be honest, Janet. Listen, you might not like some of this movie, but this movie not about you, baby. I love you. You a legend. But this movie is not about you. It's about your brother. You're honoring his legacy. I'm sure it would crush him to know you weren't involved or part of the story. Come on, man. Okay, you don't like how it's done. Okay, that's fine, but not including you at all. You're part of his story. He loves you. Y'all made a great song together. Y'all, come on, man. Us not being able to see that sibling love y'all have for each other. Come on, Janet. Come on, you're wildin', Janet. You're wildin'. Whatever you disagreed with, you could have just dealt with that so that we could see, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little bit more input from you so that, they could get y'all story correct. But we needed to see you and Mike, man. We need to see what was it like growing up. Y'all the two biggest superstars out the family. How the hell do you have a Michael Jackson movie without Janet Jackson? Hello? Anywho, they really underplayed Joe Jackson's cruelty. They had like a couple scenes where you knew Mike was getting beat with the belt, but I think he was very cruel and they just implied a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't imply nothing. We had to sit through Tina Turner going through it. Eat the Cake anime. We sat through all that. We need to see what happened to Mike, man. It's very clear it had a very damaging psychological effect. His father had a very damaging effect on him, and we needed to see it. Y'all can't hide that part of his life, man. We needed to see it. It was implied, but we needed to see it so we could fully understand why he was the gentle soul that he was, the hurt soul that he was, man. Mike been through it. Mike been through it, man. God bless Michael Jackson. I hope he resting in peace for real. You know what I'm saying? Um, 6, Michael had no relationships. Y'all infantized him. I didn't see him holler at a single woman. Like, as far as I know, Mike was a womanizer. My son bagged Brooke Shields, took Brooke Shields to an award show, bagged Elvis Presley's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley. Hello? Y'all not gonna tell me Mike wasn't bagging shorties. Hello? Hello? Y'all tried to infantize that man. Is that a word? I don't know. I dropped out 11th grade, but y'all tried to infantilize that man. Like, what's going on? Mike was getting bagging shorties. Don't make me think that he never had a shorty. We're not doing that. Mike was bagging the girls. Hello? The doggone girl is mine. My son was a womanizer. Y'all should have shown that. So I don't know what that was about. Number 7, y'all really didn't explore the songwriting process like that. They had sticky notes up. My man is putting together Thriller, and he's putting together all these songs, and then out of nowhere comes a sticky note that says Thriller. Like, man, how did he get those lyrics together? What songs inspired what? What moments inspired what song? Like, come on, man. You watching a horror movie, all of a sudden you see Thriller. My son watched Frankenstein and then wrote Thriller. I don't believe that's how it went. Like, show us his songwriting process. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see more of him sitting with Barry Gordy, more of him sitting with my man's Quincy Jones. You know what I'm saying? We needed more of that. We need more of that. More of the songwriting process. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah, like, yo, bro, Jermaine leaving, they just announced it. Jermaine is staying with Motown. Okay, but what happened? Where was the moment where Jermaine stood up to Joe? Because that had to have inspired Mike to be able to do the same thing. So y'all just gonna say he left and not show us what happened? I don't even know which one is Jermaine, to be honest with you. I still don't know. Um, they didn't explore where Michael Jackson got the inspiration for his diversity in music taste. There's a scene where I think it's Quincy Jones or whatever, like, there's, like, the guitar elements in one of the songs, and he's closing his ears talking about, "This some Van Halen type stuff," and it's like and it's funny, but it's like, but where did Mike get inspired by that? You telling me a dude who grew up listening to soul music in Gary, Indiana, knows about Van Halen? Come on, bruh, like, y'all don't like, there was a lot of rock influence in Mike's music. Where did that come from? He was a Motown kid. He was watching James Brown all the time. Where did that like, what was the inspiration? Y'all coulda delved into that, you know what I'm saying? And then last but not least, the child molestation accusations, that should have been addressed as well, but what I understood from reading online, they said that the first accusations didn't show up until later. Okay, I understand the accusations didn't show up until the '90s, right? I get it, and y'all only covered a certain time span, but at some point or another, even if the accusations happen later on down the line, y'all have to introduce him having this concept that he can, like, lay around with, like, children. Like, where did he get that idea? You know what I mean? Where does that come into play? He was at the hospital helping all the kids with the burn victims and stuff, and God bless him for doing that, but where does it go from, "I'm gonna give charity to children," to, "Oh, I think it's okay to invite kids to sleep over and I'm an adult." Like, where did that come from? Where did that he didn't just wake up and get accused of these things. He actively said that he was hanging out with kids at his crib. Why did he do that? Why did he think that was okay? Y'all can't avoid that. That has to be addressed. It's not okay. There's no one can tell me anything that'll make me say, "Oh yeah, a grown adult having kids over is okay." No. No, it's not okay. So y'all need to introduce that into the movie and show us why he felt that was okay at least. Like, we're not just gonna act like that didn't happen. I understand the accusations came later, but y'all need to address when he started doing that, and I'm pretty sure he didn't just start doing it when the accusations happened. So I love Mike like the next man, but that part is very questionable. That part of his legacy is supremely questionable, and you can't just keep that out of the movie. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that decision. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a part 2, y'all gotta address that. Do not skip past that. That's a big part of Michael Jackson's story. Couple things that I concluded. Mike wanted to be mysterious, and he was a prankster and stuff like that, right? So I do feel like he was a little bit off, right? A little bit off, like social cues and stuff like that. He was a little bit off. It's just real. It's just real. My son befriended a chimp. Like, come on, son. He was a little bit off. Um, but it's like it's clear that he wasn't fully like all the social aspects of you know what I mean. Like there was stuff going on there. It's also clear to me that Mike was very lonely, you know, for all the success he had, he was very, very lonely. He talked about people not being able to deal with him regular. He said that the other kids just wanted to take pictures and stare at him, so he just felt uncomfortable. Like, I get that, you know what I'm saying? Definitely some angst, some unaddressed childhood trauma for sure. Um, yeah, man, it's like it was a lot going on in this movie, man. There was so much to unpack. And I think the number one thing that struck me was Mike wanting to be mysterious and basically not do interviews and not really show himself to the public, made the media come up with their own narrative. It basically said, "You know what? If you're not gonna do interviews with us, we're just gonna come up with our own story of who you are." And that's when you get the Wacko Jacko and all these crazy nicknames, and they just come up with their own narrative about who he is. And people are quirky, and I think that we live in a time now where we can understand like neurodivergent or whatever, all the terms that we now understand and are more familiar with. But back then, you was just weird. And now you're Wacko Jacko. You know what I'm saying? And they have no real understanding of nuance of personality. Like he was a quirky personality and he was different. Even his mom said, "I knew you were different when you were born." Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think Mike was very misunderstood. I think that he was abused as a child. I think that it altered him in a lot of deep ways. I think that there were things he didn't understand were okay and not okay. I think that living his whole life on a stage stunted his emotional maturity. You know what I'm saying? It's so much to unpack with Mike, man. But I think I never knew the man, but energy don't lie. I think at his deep down in his heart, he was a good man. I think deep down he was a good man, and I don't know, man. I gotta see the second. I gotta see part 2 and see how it all plays out. But Mike was definitely misunderstood. Mike was most definitely misunderstood, and he had some good intentions. He did some very kind things. Now, was he a perfect man? Hell no. Hell no to the no. But I think deep down he was a decent man who was just quirky, a little bit off, and just didn't get the chance to fully emotionally mature. You know what I mean? He spent his whole life on that stage. Since he was a kid to an adult, his whole life was spent on that stage. No real human experiences, mostly exchanges with people who work for him. Um, not having a regular childhood, so he has a chance to develop and understand interpersonal relationships. It's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? Mike went through a lot, man. I just felt so bad for him in certain parts of the movie. I'm just like, damn, my son has so much trauma. And it's so weird because on the outside looking in, everyone always looks up at these celebrities. It's like if y'all seen the Freddie Mercury movie, if you've seen the Michael Jackson movie, on the outside looking in, all of us regular people want to live that life, that celebrity life, and all the celebrities want to have the regular life that we have. It's like the grass is never greener on the other side. It's never greener on the other side. It is so sad. Like Freddie Mercury had that terrible relationship with his dad. Mike had terrible relationship with his dad. Like, yo, it's so crazy how like how much these celebrities go through and how much it affects their lives and how much the celebrity itself distorts reality and distorts things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But okay, so enough rambling. So the way I do it is it's on a scale of 10. I love the movie. As a Michael Jackson fan, I love the movie. Let's start there. So the score that I'm going to give it is not reflective of how much I love Mike. So I don't want anyone putting those two things together. I love Mike, but I'm going to rate this movie like I'm watching a movie. You know what I'm saying? So I gave it a 7 out of 10. I took a knock for not exploring the sibling relationship, not having Diana and Janet. I knocked off another point because I couldn't identify which brother was which, and then I knocked off a third point for the editing and the cutaways and just like all over the place, not having a consistent timeline that we could follow and giving us time to digest everything we were learning. It's like they were in such a rush to give us concert moments, more and more concert moments. Like I could go Google a lot of those concerts. Like I didn't come to the movies to watch concerts. I came to the movie to learn about Mike. I came to the movies so I could learn about Mike, like the man. How did he become Michael Jackson? How like what was his songwriting process? What were his relationships with his siblings? What was the relationship with his parents? What was his relationships with like women? Like what who was Mike? You know what I'm saying? And instead I walked away just feeling like they chopped up all our favorite songs and in between gave us a couple glimpses into who he was, but not a full understanding. Like when I watched Malcolm X, I watched him be a pimp. I watched him, all the stuff that he went through. I watched him get to jail. I watched him change his life, go back to the people he used to, you know what I mean? Like we really got to watch Malcolm develop. And they gave us that time. It was a long movie, but they gave us the time to sit with all these moments. You know what I mean? And it's just Jafar, you did such a fantastic job. Unfortunately, the technical side of this movie brings it down so many notches for me, down to a 7 out of 10. But Jafar, you did a 10 out of 10 job as Michael Jackson. I don't think we will ever have a better iteration of Michael Jackson than what you did. Fantastic. You honored your uncle's legacy. Janet Jackson, come on, Janet. This was not about you. You should have figured out how to, you know what I mean, stay involved in this for your brother's legacy's sake. Come on, bro. And your nephew. Your nephew is doing an incredible job. Like for him, support him. Even if you don't like the movie or how it's done, support the family, support the estate, support your brother's legacy. And Diana Ross, all things in the dark come to the light. All things in the dark come to the light. So whatever it is that you didn't want in the movie, you just made us all go look it up more. When did you meet Mike? What was that relationship like? Why y'all didn't include it in the movie? Like, hey, Diana Ross, you could have saved yourself so much time by just letting it. Now everybody finna go look it up and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So no disrespect. You a legend and all that, but I'm just saying, like, you're not including yourself just makes us want to go dig and fish for ourselves to find out what's going on. And it seems like there's something that you're hiding. Um, but Michael movie, 7 out of 10. I gave you all my reasons why. I would definitely watch it again. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to the theater to watch it. I don't know. I don't have that hunger for it, but I definitely am gonna watch it again when it comes out on streaming. Pardon me. But Jafar Jackson, whatever awards they can give, you need all them awards, brother. And big salute to Joe Jackson, Coleman Domingo. I hated you. I didn't hate you as much as I hated Ike Turner. I really hated Ike Turner. I was looking at Lawrence Fishburne crazy for years. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely disliked you. I disliked you as Joe Jackson. Like you did a good job being Joe Jackson, but I disliked the character. Like I was like, hey, this guy's a jerk. Every time he came on screen, I was upset. Um and but y'all definitely held back on that character too. Y'all didn't want to show too much of that. Nah, don't hold back. It's who else? Oh, Catherine Jackson. Hey, Nia Long. Great job as his mom. Great job. It's very easy to play the acting out kid personality, but being the quiet character and like that kind of acting is much more difficult to me than being boisterous and extreme. You played it so well. Big salute to you. Love the relationship between Mike and his mother. But yeah, so that's my recap for Michael movie. Y'all go see that movie, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Drop what y'all impression was. Was I right? Was I wrong? How do you feel? Let's have this dialogue, man. Michael movie. Go see it. Go check it out. Rest in peace to Michael Jackson. Look forward to the sequel. They better do a sequel because we're not ending it on that note. And y'all better address everything that needs to be addressed in the sequel. All right, man. We the fan show. I'm out of here.